All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Princes of Barovia, episode 17. Woo! We got a full party here tonight, which is great because the party is split in 3 different places. Let's roll back and talk about what happened last time. So, the party received a message from Strahd inviting them to dine with him at Castle Ravenloft, where he believed a mutually beneficial arrangement could be reached. They arrived, and his mutually beneficial arrangement was, I'll let you guys leave Barovia. Oh, we lost Brandon. Maybe he'll be back. Oh, and he's back. Brandon, say something.
Hello.
You're doubled. You need to refresh again.
What? No!
His idea of a mutually beneficial arrangement was, you guys can leave Barovia, and you give me Irina. To which y'all were like,
no! The entire town.
Oh yeah.
No. At first it was that, and he's like, oh, well, I'll give you Dirk and Salik. And you guys are like, no. He's like, all right, well, if you don't, I'll kill everyone in all the towns.
Yeah.
Anyone who showed you mercy or gave you quarter will die.
God, this guy sucks.
I have altered the deal. Prayer do not alter it any further.
And you guys are like, nah, well, maybe. And so you guys decided, well, with Irina's consent, that you guys would give Irina over to him and leave Barovia, only to turn around and come right back with the help of Esmeralda, your friendly Vistana. And if that doesn't work, because Strahd now knows that Esmeralda's working with you, Pharaoh did a spell. What's the name of the spell? Divination?
Divination, I believe.
To speak with Mother Night, and Mother Night assured you guys that you would be able to return.
And an entity known as Mother Night can only be telling true things.
Yeah.
And with that, you guys, the Dirk figurine, and Salik, who had been retrieved from the dungeons, so that would be Theo, Eridan, and Pharaoh, and Esmeralda, hopped into that black carriage, which was going to take you back out to the Mists and to Red Lark.
Bye-bye, friends.
Meanwhile, before that dinner began, or, reverse meanwhile? I don't know, however that works.
Anti-while.
Casimir said that he did not want to go for dinner. He was going to take an alternate route into the castle to get to the catacombs to revive his sister. And he decided to take Immerol and Koros with him, because all y'all have various ways to cast invisibility. Which seems like a good thing to have while sneaking around an evil vampire's castle. And so that's where we're going to start things off tonight. So, Theo, Eridan, Pharaoh, and Irina, you guys are not here, so keep that in mind. We're going to do...
L-shaped gang.
Yeah, L-shaped gang over here. We're going to sort of do the simultaneously to what happened last session with you guys, what's going on with Casimir, Immerol, and Koros. So, Immerol and Koros, Casimir leads you guys around the side of the castle. You guys are inside the main walls, but instead of approaching the front door, which is where Theo, Eridan, Pharaoh, and Irina are now heading, and Esmeralda, you guys go around the side of the castle, where you see that the outer walls actually connect in to the central castle about halfway through the castle yard, and there's a large gate blocking the path from you guys getting to the back half of the castle yard. And he says, well, we need to get to the back. Any ideas? We could lift it, but looks rather old. Well... Oh, crap.
Strong man Emerald.
we can just dimension through it, but...
That's probably the easiest way.
I'm going to say, yeah. That's a significant chunk of my spell complement for this trip. If you have no other ideas...
I could use Wall of Stone to lift it.
Do you know how noisy that would be?
Quite.
It wouldn't be quiet.
I have the ability to Misty Step through it. Do you otherwise have a means to make it through with me?
We do. We can bring... Only one of us needs to cast it. We can bring the other. So one spell slot won't kill us.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
So I'll.
You got it? Okay. I
He's got more slots.
Clarity here.
Just a few more slots.
I fixed it. Sorry, my bad.
It's all good. So you guys dimension door through this gate, and you guys are now in the back of Castle Ravenloft. Let me see if I can pull up a nice map of where y'all at. Oh, yeah, there we go. So check this out. Castle Ravenloft, yo. You guys, the front of the castle's over here. So you guys came through this gate right here, and you are now in the back as you come around here, and you see this cathedral-looking
Oh, it's a cathedral,
thing
okay.
on the back half of the castle. Yeah, it's got this big domed ceiling, lots of windows. As you draw closer, you see several of the windows are shattered and broken. Along the spires of Castle Ravenloft here, there's all sorts of, vines and moss growing up the side. It has not been well maintained, kept clean.
Emerald, you think what I'm thinking? We should loot this cathedral for holy treasure.
Casimir chuckles and he says, "Where we're going there is much better loot than what you'll find in this abandoned cathedral."
I like
So he's saying on the way out.
And he leads you guys sort of towards the cathedral through a little archway that brings you into this small courtyard at the back of the cathedral. There's a fountain, but the water is muddy and nasty and definitely has not been flowing for a long time. Algae and stuff all growing in it.
Are we currently invisible?
Not currently, but you can be.
That was my question for Emerald and Casimir. Is now the time to fade from sight?
What's the duration of invisibility?
If it's an hour, but give me just a
Yeah,
Someone
I can.
got it.
I
Check
can
it real quick.
look.
Yeah.
It's up to an hour, but concentration.
Okay, I mean, Casimir's like, I was planning to use it when we got down to the dungeon, but now is as good a time as any.
Can you hit all of us? Or...
I can, yeah. Or, I mean, can he?
I think he can. Yeah, Casimir's a higher level.
I can do it.
Fourth, where's his sheet? I'm pretty sure he's got
Yeah,
fourth level
okay.
spells. Yeah, he can use a.
And, if needed, I can re-up it later.
Yeah, he'll take the next spell slot. He'll cast a fourth level invisibility.
Oh, man.
Get everybody.
It's the
That's
pity from the
fucking
wizards for lesser
teamwork.
spellcasters is really working out in my favor.
He leads you guys past this fountain and out onto this. So there's a gap in the large wall that opens up this larger archway to this balcony that sort of hangs outside the main walls of Castle Ravenloft. It was in that image. So if you look on this side, see this this is a cross section of the main wall, and this balcony juts out past the main walls, and it's overlooking. I mean, this is at the edge of a giant, thousands of feet cliff. You can see out, and it's misty, and it's raining, and there's another crack of thunder in the distance. He goes right up to the edge of the balcony, and he pulls off this pack that he's been carrying. He picked it up after the Amber Temple back at his hut back near the Vistani encampment. He's been carrying it this whole time, and he pulls it off and opens it up and starts pulling out climbing gear.
Before we get too deeper,
Mhm.
can I ask you if it would be reasonable to say I cast telepathic bond before we got in here? So we.
You guys did.
Okay.
We did that last session. You did it as a ritual on the long ride up. But the problem is it's got that it can't go through too much stone.
Right.
So the way that we ran that was that there were two parties of telepathic bond essentially. Theoden, Eridan, Pharaoh, Irina, Esmeralda. That group was in one bond, and you guys are in your own. In addition, I don't know if you got this, Bobby, from last time. Your bird is on Pharaoh's shoulder, so that at any time you can switch eyeballs real quick.
I did see that, and then I had a prophecy of some kind. Something about using my dark powers.
Oh, yes. Let me pull that up real quick.
Well, yeah. Can you read all those from Madame Ava?
No. Yes, I can. So, Theo, yours was half grandmotherly advice and half prophecy. She said, tell her how you feel. You may not have as long as you think. Eridan, Madame Ava told you, when you have something dear taken from you, worse will happen unless you stay your blade. Koros, you were told, when all seems bleak, your dark gifts will bring light.
And she explicitly ignored.
Irina was told, after you think your task is done, a grave choice will be put to you.
I was ignored.
Esmeralda was told, there is no hope for your former master. He brings death, destruction, and ruin to all who surround him. You guys only heard pieces of this, but I'm giving you the full bit now.
Damn.
Do not seek him out again unless you wish to end it.
Ooh.
Girl.
And she had no words for Pharaoh or Imral.
But then she was really mean to Casimir.
For Casimir, she cursed him. She said, for your inaction when my people cried out for help, even when all others have left this land, you will remain trapped here. Ancient powers will not bring the redemption you seek.
Damn. They have beef.
So Casimir has pulled out this climbing gear. I mean, he split it out into 3 chunks. He's got enough for the 3 of you guys. And so he's got like harnesses and pythons and he's got the full deal here. And he says, there's another entrance to the catacombs in the cliff face. We can descend from here and make our way there, hopefully without Strahd's notice.
It is 100% not suspicious that you know that, but okay, let's go.
Just hold shift for rapid descent.
That rainbow. Cool. So he starts, he ties these off around the balcony's edge, but then he also hammers them down into the ground there because he doesn't really trust this balcony. And he hammers you guys off too. He knows how to use this climbing equipment fairly well. And he helps you guys get all hooked up, and then he's like, all right, let's go. And he climbs over to the other side of the balcony and starts rappelling.
Emerald, do you mind if I go in the middle? Because I might drop, and you have that spell that might save my life.
I mean, there's 3 different ropes. You guys have separate ropes.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I'll follow.
Yeah, and I'll tail a little bit behind them just in case there's something down there that triggers the second they get down.
That is reasonable. And so
I want them to be like, oh look, the dragon.
Because this balcony juts out past the edge, past the walls and where the cliff face and the pillar stone is, you guys are just sort of free rappelling down for several hundred feet. In fact, I can do some math real quick because it's far. Never mind, I can't do math. This thing is... I'm looking at this giant map of Ravenloft here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a big castle. So you guys sort of free rappel down until you see, jutting out of the cliff face, there's this shape that is clearly man-made that looks very similar to the balcony. It has the same sort of supports that the balcony did. These, giant curved jutting stones that hold it up. But it is sort of sealed in and has windows. These large, I believe, stained glass windows that are holding it. They're not holding it. They're in the cliff face here. That in this man-made chunk that juts out of the cliff face. And from where you guys are hanging, you could, you see Casimir slow to a stop and then tie his rope off, and then he looks at you guys and he starts to swing to get a little closer to these windows.
I suppose I'll do the same thing.
And as he gets closer and closer to it, you see he looks like he's intending to break through the stained glass. And when he sees you slide down again, he says, "Well, we could dimension door again."
Do you know what's on the other side?
A tomb.
Lovely. I can cast it and take one more. That's better than shattering the glass. Can you still get yourself through again?
I don't think Misty Step will help here because it's you turn into mist, right? Like, and it's a window. The other ones were bars.
Okay. I mean, I can only dimension door one other person.
And he says, "The tomb should be empty. We can just break the glass."
Alright, do it.
He gets his swing going. He's back and
Get your
forth.
casted ready, Emerald.
And then he gets
Yeah,
close enough
I
that
just-
he can push hard off of the stone on either side of the window. And then he comes through and he breaks through the window and like drops the rope. And
wanted to let
leaving the
him
rope
set off the
hanging,
trap.
and he rolls into the room.
Status check.
Come!
Alright.
Yeah, follow.
Yeah, do that, I guess.
You guys get your swing on, and he'll lean out, he'll reach an arm out the window to pull you guys in so you don't have to fully swing, to give you a hand.
How generous.
So you guys are in this large tomb. This room is probably 40 feet by 40 feet, and there's large stairs that lead out of it. On the eastern walls where you just came in, there are tall stained glass windows, and now the ground is covered in broken stained glass. So there's dim light falling in through the stained glass, and now some harsher light falling in through the broken window. Falling on two coffins resting atop white marble slabs on either side of the room. The one against the north wall is marked King Barov von Zarovich, and the one against the south wall is marked Queen Ravenovia van Royen. The vaulted ceiling 30 feet overhead is inlaid with a beautiful gold mosaic.
Scott was telling the truth about his mom.
Yeah.
What her name was.
Casimir, are these who I think they are?
And he says, "The devil's parents? Indeed. Long dead."
Yeah.
Alright. The stairs lead up about 10 feet onto a landing, and then more stairs go up another 10 feet. And on this landing, on either side of it, there are two alcoves with large statues in them. They're 30-foot tall bronze statues of warriors holding spears. There's a soft blue curtain of light flowing between the two alcoves. Dimly visible on the other side of this curtain are more ascending stairs.
Emerald can go first.
Casimir looks at Emerald.
Fine then. I'm gonna start walking up.
Cool. Emerald, I know the answer to this question, but your alignment is not lawful good, correct?
Correct.
As you start to pass through, you find yourself suddenly teleported to the top of the stairs. I'll take an insight check if you want to what the fuck that. Who's playing Dota? I hear clicking.
Yeah, I heard it
Oh, I'm clicking. I'm not playing Dota though.
It sounds like Dota. So, Emerald, you think that this curtain of light may be designed to prevent people from entering the tomb rather than going into the catacombs. That when certain creatures may try to pass down the stairs, they'd be teleported back up to the top of the stairs. That you guys are approaching this from the opposite direction. You also realize that it may mean you guys can't leave the same way you came in once you cross this curtain.
Emerald, you're fine up there?
Safe enough, though uncomfortable.
Well, what else is new? Alright, I'll follow.
And
My alignment is also not lawful good.
And neither is Casimir's. Shocker.
That's a huge surprise.
You guys both pass through it, and you're both teleported to the top of the stairs. And Casimir says, well, hopefully we'll find another way out.
If not, we can make one.
Alright. And from here, at the top of the
spirit.
stairs, jump back here. You guys are in this large room. Let me find the actual description so I can do it justice. Because this room is massive, and it's got these crypts within it. These large, they're like columns inside this room. Large rectangular columns with doors inlaid in them. Spaced out around this room in a sort of like a checkerboard pattern in a grid, such that it's like a labyrinth. You could very easily get lost in here. Here we go. Buried deep beneath the keep of Ravenloft lie ancient catacombs, with arched ceilings supported by wide, hollow columns that double as crypts. Cobwebs hang limp in the musty air. A thick fog clings to the floor, which is covered in putrid waste. The black ceiling is moving.
It's moving.
Okay.
Like
Rotating, or it's...
You guys have got dark vision, right?
Yep.
I believe I do, yeah.
Emerald certainly does. You can clearly see
I
the
do as well.
ceiling is covered in bats.
Ah, okay.
And so, where you guys are, you can sort of see this is like a sort of, you can see there's like this central pathway that keeps going the same direction the stairs did, and it goes to the far side of the crypt, and sort of descends into darkness. It's hard to see on the far end. But to your right and left, there's all these columns, and you look between two columns, and you see another column in there, and you have to sort of zigzag if you're going to start going in here, and you think that it might be very easy to get lost, because it's very dark.
This is uncomfortable.
Casimir, do you know where we're going?
And he says, one of these crypts will hold my sister.
Informative as always.
And he says,
Emerald
Katrina Velikovna.
is the name.
Mm-hmm. He says,
I'm gonna...
we can start with the ones along this path.
Let's begin.
Left
Left
or
side
right?
yours. Yeah.
There are 3 on the left and 3 on the right that you sort of go straight through here.
All right.
So,
Left.
Yeah.
all right. The first crypt on the left reads...
Katrina Velikova. Eh?
Quaros Ravenrock.
Interesting.
what?
Why is it yours, Ebenezer?
Dude, it's like freaking Christmas Carol.
That's what.
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
That's not.
Did you, Alex, say it's yours, Ebenezer?
Oh, I thought she was saying Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes. Christmas Carol,
Yep.
Ebenezer
Yes.
Scrooge. All one and the same.
Still lost. Sorry, I'm very sick. I'm on the day 7 of the
He
flu.
lights the match and he goes, it's yours.
Lil, you gotta bring your laptop closer to you.
Sorry.
I'm going to confess in a moment of rare honesty that I find this somewhat unsettling. Can I open it?
Yeah. So you can grab the handle and pull it open, and there's this horrid stench of decay. As you look inside, you see a corpse. And upon further inspection, it is your corpse.
Can you tell because it has no teeth?
Identity confirmed. No
Here's an
dentals.
interesting- Here's an interesting question, and I'll make a check for this if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell what race the body is?
Yeah, if you want to give me, give me a perception check. As far as you can tell, this corpse is you.
Okay.
It's got your ears, it's got your lack of teeth, it's got your facial structure.
Interesting. I'm going to close the crypt. That's one to keep in mind.
Point of curiosity. I'm going to make an assumption. I'm going to look and see if he's actually made one for her or for him. And I'm going to point behind us. I'm going to see if there's one for Arena.
Where are you looking? Just the crypt
Among
immediately
these-
opposite that one, or?
Yeah, let's look over here because I'm assuming.
Yeah, because there are 6 along this walkway, but there are dozens more behind
I
those.
definitely want to at least look at these 6.
Yeah, so you look at the one on the right now. That will be crypt 20. Let's see. It says Sasha Ivliskova, wife.
That's far less interesting.
Admittedly. Maybe I'm married in this bizarre, dead future.
Yeah.
Also an unsettling thought. Let's keep going.
Yes.
All right, middle
She can
row,
look.
left to right.
Left.
All right, left will be crypt 22. It says,
Holy shit! Wait, sorry. Crypt 22.
oh yeah, there's what, 40 of these in here at
Like,
least?
Crawling with dead people.
Oh yeah.
Not about it.
This room is massive. They behind these ones, because these are they're like columns in the middle of the room, and so you look between these 2 columns, and there's deeper back another column that's clearly also a crypt, and so on and so forth all the way back. You can't see very far. I mean, you can see dark vision, so you can see 30 or 60 feet depending.
60 feet.
But then it's just darkness beyond that. It definitely goes further than 60 feet back. And also, because of the way the columns are, you can't see past two rows worth because they're staggered. This one on the left side, the second one says Sir Eric Vonderbucks.
I heard the air and I got scared.
Whatever.
Hey, at least you would have been knighted.
Posthumously.
Admittedly not ideal.
It's going to take forever if we just keep doing these one by one.
Casimir says, do you have a better plan?
Unfortunately not.
I just saw my decaying corpse. I would like to not split up.
Fair.
Middle row right.
Agreed.
Yep.
Middle row right, 19. It says, Artemis, builder of the keep, thou standest amidst the monument to his life.
Not the legacy I'd want, but
I'm gonna open that one.
You see a skeleton draped in rags lying atop a marble slab in the center of the crypt. But otherwise it seems that the crypt contains nothing of interest.
Damn, was hoping it was buried with a blueprint.
not a bad.
They're sometimes buried with their legacy.
Back row
He's
left.
buried within his legacy at this point. Alright, back
Yeah.
row left, number 21. It says Petrina Velikovna, bride.
Awkward.
But also there was the wife.
Yes.
Guy just works his way through them, I guess. You live long enough.
I feel like it's one of those things where if you go through the whole crypt, it's like they're all brides.
Sure, but Petrina is the one you guys are looking for.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
The one next to it says side hoe.
Sad hug.
Clearly, Casimir's interested in this one. I want to quickly look at back row right.
Yeah. Just to for completion's sake, crypt 18. Ah.
What's in crypt number 18?
Stone door of this crypt has been carefully laid to one side. Through the swirly mists of perpetual fog, freshly engraved letters spell out the words, Irina Kolyana, wife.
No.
Awkward.
No. Can we skip the wife bit? Can that not? I'm okay with
I'm
the
gonna look
dead
at this one too.
I do wish I had bet money on that gift not existing.
So this one, the door is already laid to
Oh, this
one
one's already
side.
open.
It's already open. It's currently empty. And looks like it's been cleaned. There's no, spider webs or anything yet. This one has been freshly prepared.
Prepared.
Prepared, baby, not the word.
That's horrifying.
Be prepared.
Rum bum bum bum.
No. Okay. At least you're gonna sing Disney while I go to my desk. That's something.
It will soon be decaying.
For what it's worth, in real time right now, you guys are still just having dinner.
Oh yeah, that was a lovely dinner. Nothing bad about that.
Conveyed this rather horrifying information.
Casimir, if you want to do whatever magic you're planning.
Oh wait, I totally can communicate this horrible information. You have my bird.
However, if your bird speaks out loud at the dinner table, it would be very conspicuous.
Right.
They found the body! They found the body! It's like,
When are the sounds?
Yeah, basically, of course, you realize if you do anything that you do to speak through the bird would immediately catch Strahd's attention and probably reveal that you're here.
Now that Casimir is about to do dark, horrific magics, I want to take a moment to look through the bird's eyes.
Yeah, let's see. So at this time,
Yeah, we don't have a signal with the bird of, by the way, there's a coffin ready for Arena.
right? No, there were no signals planned here, and that's okay.
Plan that. I'm
We're
sorry.
not changing or retconning the way anything played out, right? There was no communication method. It was just Koros can check in on everyone else.
Right.
They are sitting at dinner. You see that Irina is sitting across from Strahd. Pharaoh is sitting to the side, and is eating lots of bread at this point.
gotta kill the lady! Gotta kill
Pharaoh, I'm so happy for you. I truly am.
God, that really hurts my throat.
All right.
Not the nice Gilbert Gottfried.
All right. Good to know.
Oh, God.
All right, and Casimir says, "Now, brace yourselves. I do not know what Strahd has turned her into. It may take some time. In which case, defend me while I revive her."
We are all still invisible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. For the purposes of this, Jake, just so I know, how long has it been since we left the Amber Temple?
That was yesterday?
So just one day?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, there's also if you check the Google Drive folder, there's a spreadsheet I think that you guys have access to. That's like what's happened each day.
Are you counting
Perfect.
your charges?
You guys are wanting one of those defend him for 3 waves of enemies quests. I don't envy you.
And so Casimir says if one of you would do the honors, and he's standing back a bit. with his
What a
hands at the ready.
fucking
Fine then.
coward.
I am far stronger than Koro, so I'll just rip the door
Okay
open.
with this.
From the darkness comes a horrifying visage. A spectral elf maiden, twisted by the horror of her undead existence. She wails, and the very sound claws at your soul.
Oh my god.
It's the mom from Bioshock.
Poor Nicole. So upset.
I like how it was like the first 3 words, Spectral Elf Maiden, and I'm like, I know what this is, I know what this is, I hate it already, I hate it already, I know what
Sylvanas?
this is.
Emerald, what have I always told you about my opinion of elves?
Listen, we're very good at sticking around, that's all you need to know.
That's not a positive quality.
And it comes out of the crypt and is sort of like stalking around, but it does not see you guys. But I've got a picture of this because
Do I want to see
I will
it?
confirm Ben's suspicions of what it is. By pulling out my monster manual.
And looking in the B section.
Indeed. For that one.
She seems nice.
Oh my god, you're such a stunner for all that years of rest.
True.
And when Casimir is gonna use his dark gift, it breaks his concentration on invisibility. So everybody's visible now. But you see, she's sort of the spectral visage is sort of sucked back towards the body. You see, further behind inside this crypt, in the center of the crypt, there's a skeleton draped in rags, lying atop a marble slab, surrounded by thousands of coins. This spectral form is sort of sucked into where the body is, and you see sort of around this skeleton, first you like muscle and sinew start to form, and then skin and flesh, until you see an elven woman, with just, she's got a few rags over her, covering her, but is mostly naked. Her full form appears, and she slowly sits up and turns to be sitting on this marble slab and face you guys, knocking coins every which way across the floor. And she makes eye contact with her brother. Says, Casimir, good to see you came for me. Who are your friends?
Horus Ravenrock.
Imaro, I'm here.
Good. Have any of you, by chance, seen my spell book?
Check his pockets.
Who are you, when you say he, who are you pointing
Emerald.
at? Emerald. She turns to you,
Trust me.
Emerald.
If I had found it, I would have it.
That was a joke. I apologize.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
She peers around the room. She says, well, it must be here somewhere, please. Help me find it.
Can I?
And she slowly gets up, and you can see, like, she's, like, testing out her body, right? Like, she's, like, you know, muscles that just came into existence. And she slowly bends over, and at this point, she's totally naked, right? Because these rags, these old, rotted rags have completely fallen off, and she seems unfazed by that. It's sort of in the, you know, elves are not known for their modesty. And she starts pushing coins aside to see if her spellbook is here.
Jake, there's cat cam, double cat cam.
Indeed.
I'm the cat come now.
Suppose I don't have anything to make the process faster, so I will just try to help digging, I guess.
All
That's
right.
what it looks like.
Yeah. Just kind of swath through the coins to try and find her.
Yeah. Emerald, you come across it first because I picked that arbitrarily. You push a few coins aside and you find this ancient leather-bound tome of parchment with, you know, a small strap wrapped around it, and it's sealed. It's tied shut, and it's very clearly you can feel just the emanations from it. You know when you find a spellbook.
Feel the power.
And there are many pages in this spellbook.
I'm gonna lift it up. I'll take a finder's fee of a peek after we're done.
She says, of course.
Implying any of us will be alive.
Thank you. I might need some time to prepare a few spells if we're to defeat Strahd. I presume that's why you've brought me back. She looks at Casimir, and Casimir nods, and he says, yes, my dear sister.
Not, you know, the bonds of familial love or anything.
We will get revenge for what he did to our people.
Forward out for the Dusk Elves.
And he says, Rahadin is already dead. Strahd is the only one left.
I killed that guy. Do I get the street cred with Casimir?
Maybe. He didn't really say anything about it before.
You guy is such a D.
She says, good, that traitor did not deserve to live. And she unties the book and folds it open and says, I will need a bit of time.
Take what you need.
Casimir says, we have plenty. We have not yet been detected. Gentlemen, would you like to secure our position here? Check that there's not anything lurking.
We can poke about quietly and quickly.
Yeah. Sort of want to have a look at some of these other tombs.
Yeah.
All right, let's go poke.
All right,
When do
lead the
we
way.
bring
We're not splitting up.
Copper guy unboxing.
Them just unboxing things is like the...
So when we get about 40 feet away, 50 feet away, after we've poked around in a few crypts, I'm just going to mention to Koros. So if he makes a shifty move after she's done her thing, we kill them both.
What is the thing? Defeating Strahd?
Defeating Strahd.
Oh, yeah, sure, fine. I thought you meant after preparing spells.
Oh, no.
I'm on board with that, though I'm not sure we can.
Oh, I doubt it, but I don't trust them.
Brilliant. I want to make another bird check-in.
Yeah, so at this point, you see Pharaoh has just entered a grand-looking bathroom. And he walks over and you see he turns a spigot to start the running water and then starts walking towards the curtains to the toilet.
And he has a hand mirror for some
I'm
reason.
going to whisper to the bird.
Oh, yeah, man.
Sorry, you see also in the bathroom that there is a figure in noble's robes, vampire-looking teeth, closely watching Pharaoh.
So he's actually just... that idiot. All right. Close picture. I don't want to see it.
But he turns the curtain and he closes it behind him. You're like, all right, I don't want to see this.
All right, Emerald, they were at dinner with Strahd, and then I almost witnessed Pharaoh in the privy. It's really too horrifying to contemplate.
You guys are sort of doing rounds past some of these crypts. You see some names like Ivan Ivlishkevich, champion of winter dog racing. The race may go to the swift, but vengeance is for the loser's relatives. Stefan Grigorovich, first counselor to King Barov von Tsarevich. Intri Sikvalu, he spurned wealth for the knowledge he could take to heaven.
It's like you, Emerald, except the opposite direction.
Quaint.
Strahd's father was a king.
Apparently.
Why doesn't he call himself a king?
Probably something to do with the inheritance.
Interesting. So far, we've seen no more party members' names on crypts.
Yeah.
No, you do see, you come to this near one, and as you're approaching it, you see that the door is missing completely.
Peek in.
You give me a perception check.
Oh, that doesn't bode well.
One from me as well, or no?
I'll take it from both of you, yeah.
What are my rolls?
Alright. Emerald, you see Koros leaning forward to take a look, and you quickly pull him back because you see 3 giant wolf spiders inside. That look just like ready to pounce out of there.
Good eye. Appreciate that.
We'll get even later. I know you're about deals. It'll be fine.
I guess keep exploring until like close to an hour has passed, then go back.
Yeah. Kind of ballpark it. Any name that jumps out as particularly important or interesting.
Let me glance through them. Let me skim them all real quick to check. Various, ladies and princes and lords sort of things. You notice one that says Saint Markovia. Which you might recognize from Saint Markovia's Abbey. Which you've been.
Right. That was a shithole.
Why is this person not buried in the abbey?
Topical.
Higher honor, perhaps?
Maybe.
At one point, anyway.
You see another king. It says King Troisky, the three-faced king.
A predecessor?
Useful number of faces.
You see one that says King Katsky the Bright, ruler, inventor, and self-proclaimed time traveler.
Transmutation magic. I'm gonna open the door.
You're gonna
I would
open that
find
one?
that less
Yeah.
believable if I didn't just see my own corpse.
So there's
feel
a
like there's
skeleton
greatness in your
draped in
past.
rags lying atop a marble slab in the center of the crypt. Lying amid the bones is a stoppered drinking horn, a fat pouch, and a weird-looking scepter made of metal and wood. Above the bones, hanging from the domed ceiling by wires, is a wooden flying contraption that looks like a set of folding dragon wings, fitted with leather straps, metal buckles, and taut leather wing flaps.
Shoot the flying demon!
I'm gonna burn a first level spell slot to get an instant detect magic.
I don't believe anything here is magic. Let me double check.
Just throw it out. Yes.
Yeah, no magic detected in here.
And yes, for a room like this, I'll use the spell slot. But when it says apparition standing on a bridge, I'll say no. Let's wait 10 minutes. All right, fair enough. If I'm not detecting anything, I'll close the door. Disappointed.
All right.
What was that thing?
I don't know, but there could have been something in the sack. But there's nothing magical. We can come back later if we need to. Unless, no, then that would have pinged as magical itself. Never mind.
You recognize the name Kazan. The subtitle there says his word was power. Kazan was the wizard who built the tower that you guys were in.
That's right.
It was Kazan's tower.
That, no. There will be nothing of merit there.
You don't think
More
so?
magic armor.
Yeah, he has the animated armor.
I feel like most of it would have been left at his tower. He wouldn't have gone it to... this may have been the safest spot. Never mind.
I would check it. Let's check that one.
Very well.
All right. A skeleton draped in rags lies atop a marble slab at the center of the crypt. The skull has black opals set in its eye sockets and shards of amber where its teeth should be.
Amber.
I want the teeth.
I'm gonna back away and say, Quaros, I don't know if that's wise.
Jake, he's trying to take the teeth. Does anything happen?
Are you gonna go up and?
Can I mage hand the skull out?
Just surrounded by all the amber in the world.
Yep.
You want this guy?
Your mage hand, sort of seeps out of your hand, and instead of the normal mage hand that you would typically see, which is sort of this spectral, like transparent magic hand, you see sort of this skeleton-like hand protrude out. It's startling at first, but it picks up the skull and floats it back towards you.
I don't like this at all, Quaros.
Alright, we'll be taking this.
Every time I see a gemmed skull of a wizard, I have bad triggers.
The next two are just funny, so I'll read them. Elsa Falana von Twitterberg, beloved actor. She had many followers. The next one, Sir Cedric Spinwitovich, Admiral Spinwitovich. Confused though he was, he built the greatest naval force ever assembled in a landlocked country.
Oh my gosh.
From here, you
That's
cross
great.
over to the other side.
I like that one.
Other ones that seem interesting.
Did they open the St. Markovia one or no?
They did not.
No.
Yeah, okay, that's what I remember. I was like, I didn't want to mix up Kazan and St. Markovia.
There's one with no name that says we knew him only by his wealth.
Probably rich.
Also, so this just room layout wise, I should have filled you in on this one. So, on the north side of the room, so that you can see you guys sort of to the right when you came in. You guys went and checked out all those crypts. On the far end of the room, there was a set of bars and then some stairs leading down to another tomb, similar looking to the one that you guys came in through. You could see down into it, except there's one large coffin on a slab there, with white
Any
marble
shimmer door?
steps. Pardon?
Any shimmer door or no?
No,
for
no
this one.
shimmer on this one. Yeah, just a portcullis in front of white marble steps descending into a tomb with a vaulted ceiling, a white marble slab with an intricately inlaid coffin.
Can my elf eyes make out
I was
any?
gonna say, what do
kind
your elf eyes see?
of- Yeah, any kind of like name, or is it too far to make out?
You get 60 feet? Yeah, you can probably make it out. Chiseled into the slab is the name Sergei von Zarovich.
Sergey.
Dun, dun, dun.
Behind the coffin, there are 3 alcoves. A beautifully carved statue stands in each alcove. A stunning young man flanked by 2 angels, looking as polished and new as the day they were each placed there. You see there's an iron lever protruding from the south wall, west of the tomb's entrance. Seems
Maybe
like that
something
lever
of
may
value
control
there.
the portcullis, but it's
The lever's behind the portcullis or on our side?
on the side you can't reach.
Okay.
Do you think it takes more than 5 pounds of pressure to pull a lever?
I don't know. Try it.
Requires a DC 15 strength check, so yes.
Okay. How far is that lever from the door?
It's
Like right next
it's
to
towards
it,
the
but-
bottom of the stairs, I do believe. The south wall, yeah, it's actually it's even kind of around the corner. You can just see the edge of it sticking out.
Okay. So it's like portcullis, more stairs, corner, and
Right.
lever peeking out barely.
Right.
Okay. Because I was gonna say if it's at the portcullis but around the corner, I can maybe try and dex like, and then try and strength it. But if it's that far in, I don't want to waste a teleport. That's very foreboding.
Yeah.
Teleport. But
I agree with you.
All right. So from that, you guys sort of now you're sort of that was the full right side, and now you guys are exploring the left side, and I named a couple of those already.
yeah.
You pass. Here's another funny one. Sir Klutz Tripolotsky. He fell on his own sword. There's one that just says we knew him only by his wealth.
Yep. If you think there's anything worthwhile in there, Quoros, maybe, but
No, let's keep going.
You see another king, King Dostron the Hellborn.
He sounds nice.
passionate.
And then between a few crypts on the far wall, you see another, a portcullis with stairs leading down into a tomb.
Same thing. Can we see through it?
Are you guys gonna walk up to this one?
Yeah.
All right. Who's going first?
I would.
Okay.
All right, Emerald.
I asked, but that's fine. Emerald.
Koros, here's what you see. As Emerald walks between the two crypts in front of the portcullis to get a closer look at this thing, he is suddenly transformed, like instantly, into this hideous white, just this undead creature you see in front of you.
Great.
And it turns and hisses at you, and I need some initiative.
I bet you do.
Emerald, also please roll initiative. Oh, I don't have
Yep.
a tracker. Oh,
I remember.
crap. You guys want to use the new initiative thing?
Sure.
Either's fine.
I'll
Choose
try.
the new
Yeah.
one. There you go, and then you
Oh,
should be able to click
fancy.
to edit just like in Roll20.
So roll it from roll 20.
Nice.
Yeah, roll it from Roll20 and then add it to the new fancy tracker. And then I can add. Let's see. Sorry, viewers, you can't quite see this. I built a new initiative tracker in our same system that runs our video, and it's like off to the side, but we're going to try using it now. Let me hit that sort button. Oh, I should actually roll before I sort. Uh-oh. Alright, I can't edit his initiative. Whoops.
So it's 10.
Want
So
me to
it's
put
10
it in?
now. No, it's all good. It would be 11. So it's fine. It's the same. And let me get a sheet out. However, Emerald, you're first. So let me describe to you what actually happened. So
I
while
may have a vague memory of this from like 4 years ago. Can I push on the lid of the? It's like,
you have been here before. Yeah. So
Wow, that's a really good memory, Ben.
yeah, Emerald, you find yourself
this was kind of an iconic moment.
inside of a coffin. The solid stone coffin above you. Let me see where this thing is described.
Last time I was basically playing as Koros. I was here, so
Yeah. I gotta find the exact crypt you popped up in.
oh yeah, I'm in Sergei's tomb. Awesome. I've just kind of
Not quite. Here we are.
That's a lot. No.
Yeah, so there's this flash of light that explodes around you, and then you're suddenly plunged into absolute darkness, suddenly lying in a confined space choked with dust. What would you like to do, Emerald?
help. I'm gonna push up.
Yeah, you're able to
If-
you're able to push over the lid of this coffin, and you're in a pitch black dark room, but thanks to your dark vision, you're able to make some of it out. You're in this dark, dank vault with a 10-foot high ceiling. The room is awkwardly shaped and smells of rotten meat. Around, you are in one of 15 stone coffins scattered throughout the vault, all oriented with their heads pointing north. The floor is covered with human bones and rusty swords.
What the actual shit?
God.
Awkward.
Well, this is unfortunate.
And opening that coffin used up your action, but you still have movement if you want to climb out.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb out and kind of put a hand to my head. Well, I'm somewhere fucking else now.
There's enough stone between you and Koros that it does not reach him.
4 parties, let's go!
Koros!
Okay. I'm going to take 2 free actions.
Mm-hmm.
Emerald, what the hell? Where are you? With the link.
Does not
Which
reach.
And then I'm going to use my innate warlock ability to telepathically communicate with anything and try to talk directly to the white in front of me. Who are you? I don't mean to hurt you.
And it says, it responds, "You've disturbed my slumber!"
Okay, so he's not nice. Good, I can work with that. In that case, I am going to back up. How close am I to it?
You were right by Emerald, so it's like right in front of you.
Okay, so I'll back up a full 30 feet, I guess, assuming I have room for it. And I will
You
just
have to sort of zigzag between some columns.
Will I still have vision of him if I move all the way back?
Not if you go 30 feet back.
Alright, then I'll move
Just
just
you go 10 or
back.
15 feet back and still have vision.
Yeah, I guess I'll just move back a bit. How much violence do I want to perform here? I guess let's just start with some Eldritch Blasts. So I'll
Cool.
give him 2 of those.
Bang, bang. Those will both
Okay.
hit.
Good job, Maxwell. Hit him with that silver hammer.
All right, he takes 25 force.
Nice. He is bloodied.
Nice. Okay, cool.
He's gonna then turn around and he's gonna rush at you and attack you. Where did my dice
Okay.
go?
So I have cool warlock stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Basically, he makes this attack with disadvantage.
Why is that?
I was using my entropic ward ability.
Ah.
So when a creature makes an attack roll against you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on that roll.
Gotcha. Just on the one roll, though.
Just on one roll.
Cool. So its first attack is just it is unsheathed this long sword, and is coming after you. That is it's got a disadvantage, right? It's a 12 with disadvantage, so that won't hit you.
Okay, so because of that, I now have advantage on my next attack roll against it.
Gotcha. It's still got 2 more attacks.
I assumed as much.
Oh, sorry, 1 more attack. Pardon. Here's this next attack, and that is 14, so that will hit you.
Yep.
So this time it swung the longsword at you, and then with its other hand, it reached out and it grabbed at your neck and your exposed skin. So 5 necrotic damage,
Okay.
and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Thought you might. Good thing those are good for me.
Not one. Aw.
Appreciate you, Will.
Not quite enough. Your hit point maximum goes down by 5, the same amount
Okay,
as damage
so
you took.
quick question. My hit points on my current sheet are low, but I believe we had some kind of rest before.
Yeah, we didn't update them, so you've had a long rest.
Okay.
Well,
Was
so
50
no, actually, no, you haven't, because those numbers are from you fighting guards in front of Lady Voctor's house, which was this morning.
That's right. That was really dumb of me.
It was indeed. You did have an opportunity for a short rest in the carriage, so if you want to throw a hit die or 2 on there real quick.
I had to apply a short rest to it, yeah.
But other than that, yeah, that's where you were at.
All right, let me do that in parallel while Imril takes his turn. So I take 5 damage.
And then your hit point maximum also goes down by 5.
By 5. Okay, cool.
That lasts until you take a long rest, I think.
Lovely. Okay. So is that a net 10-point loss right now?
I think that's how that works.
Okay, cool. All right, Imril, go ahead and take your turn, and I will take my short rest.
Yeah.
Which would have been, I would have missing 33 hit points, so let's say...
Cool.
All right. So, I'm gonna kind of look at the room. Is there anything else in this room? Is there a doorway, stairs?
At the top, you look up and you actually see in the middle of the room, there's a shaft that leads upward. And you can see a door at the top of the shaft. But it's maybe 40 feet up.
Wizards.
I'm gonna cast fly on myself and then start flying.
Great.
What even are wizards?
You're able to fly up the shaft and over to the door,
Perfect.
which you can probably
that's my
just
action.
push open here. Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
just start to push open and you see the familiar crypt. You're coming out of one of the crypts.
yeah, and then as I'm kicking the door, Koros, where are you?
And Koros, you just hear in the distance behind you, way behind you, echoing through the crypt here. Koros, where are you?
Great.
So distorted, it doesn't even sound like my voice anymore. It's just more.
It does enough, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty familiar with each other at this point.
All right. I'm where you disappeared from. Okay.
So helpful.
Totally helpful. Yeah.
We're going to do this thing again. The first Eldritch Blast is advantage,
Cool.
and the
That'll
second
hit.
one is standard.
That'll also hit.
All right. 17.
Quick math. And I think that's enough to knock this white down.
Okay.
As it sort of burns and fizzles, and it's all the sinew that was holding it together is sort of broken apart, and it falls to the ground.
Good job slowly stopping the white power movement.
Get off the stage.
So you guys didn't get it, but in the back in the Amber Temple, one of the piles of treasure was a bunch of books, and they were all the same book, and it was Snow Dwarf and the Seven Whites. All right.
I really like
And with that, you guys are able to reunite and finish just looking around here. I don't think there's anything else super attention-grabbing. There is one Growlmore Nimblenobs Wizard Ordinaire. Not extraordinaire, just ordinaire.
He's just okay.
Other than that, nothing super attention-grabbing. And you guys are able to loop your way back to Casimir and his sister, Petrina.
the whole time for the next 10 minutes. I'm just doing like the M. Bison float instead of walking. Because I'm going to make use of that spell slot.
Gotcha. Alright. And we're going to do a quick meanwhile. In fact, of course, this time you check in on your bird, and you see Theo, Eridan, Pharaoh, Esmeralda, and Salik, who I think you definitely met.
Briefly in like Icewind Dale, yeah.
And they're holding a figurine of Dirk. And they are in a carriage, the same black carriage that brought you guys here, heading away from Ravenloft.
Oh, shit.
Doodle-doo. Hey!
Man, this carriage is really bumpy. Heading away from Ravenloft.
Right, into the mist we go. Cloppity clop.
So, it takes an hour or two to get away from the castle and to the edge of Strahd's domain.
What?
Takes an hour or two.
Yeah,
Yes.
great.
Oh.
I didn't think that.
I'm not excited.
How long do you think you could just run in circles around the castle?
I'm wondering how long I can stretch out this tour for.
Hendrik, she's learned the Scooby-Doo trick where you can like run in one door and come out another. That'll make it a lot easier.
It works great in the crypts.
Daphne Fashionbringer peeks out from one of them.
So, there's an hour or two until you reach the edge of the mists, and then you guys can see out of the windows of the carriage the mists grow thicker and thicker after you guys.
Make the horses go faster. I'm sorry.
You can try, but you can make it more closer to an hour rather than 2 hours. But
All right, I do that.
Let's do it.
but there were no reins on these horses, so you had to sort of like reach out and smack them in the butt.
I like find a bread butt from Pharaoh, and I'm like cloppity clop towards the bread. And I'm like looking out in front of them, and Eridan's also like pushing their butts or something. I don't know. We're
I'll get out and push.
yeah, we're doing something to go.
And
fast.
after you guys leave the gates of Barovia, on this road through the forest, the fog and the mist gets thicker and thicker until you literally can't see the trees on either side of the road. All you see outside of the windows of the carriage is just thick, white fog.
I like take off my headband. I'm like, that's not it.
Dude,
Man.
keep that shit covered up. No one wants to see that.
And actually, Pharaoh, even for you, since you had that true sight, you were seeing, the whole time you were in Barovia, you could see pretty far through the fog, right?
Uh-huh.
But now, this fog... Sorry, my headphones got all tangled in my chair. There we go. You could see through the fog, and you could see the forests on the far side, but as it got thicker and thicker, they faded away, and even you now can't see through this thick, white mist.
No wonder Sovereigns can't see this place. That's one difficult barrier.
And then you notice that the ground underneath the carriage starts to change from the dirt road that you were on before, slowly into stone. Not stone like paved stone, stone like rock, like a cavern almost. And as the mist begins to fade, you guys start to see around you this large cavern filled with various pieces of machinery and
What?
potions and this large, you see, it's suspended in the middle of this large cavern, this large fluctuating gyroscopic device, and at the center of it, a figure floating in the center of this gyroscope.
No.
And the figure looks very, very familiar. You recognize Vizerin Devere.
Oh my god! I thought you were gonna say jerk.
But just as he turns to you guys and says, you finally arrived, something pulls you away from this place. Not the mists. Some sort of other power sweeping in just as the last of the mists are receding, and picking you up, and you are suddenly elsewhere. You find yourselves, and this carriage materializing on top of a large, you're on top of a building on the edge of some cliffs overlooking the ocean. Off the side of this, around the sides of this building and going off into the ocean, you see this large waterfall. Multiple waterfalls, sort of this river that splits and becomes multiple waterfalls falling off these cliffs into the ocean. And you're in this enormous scale courtyard on top of this building. And the moment that your caravan has fully materialized and sort of lands on this courtyard, you hear and feel this strange humming, this vibration, this very low, subtle buzzing or humming noise around you guys.
Gonna hurl.
And you notice that engraved into the top of this building, in this courtyard where you had this centered on where you've materialized, is this large circle filled with runes and arcane symbols of various kinds.
Can we read them?
Desmond just turn the key and move the island.
Yeah. Can we read any of the symbols?
I'll take Arcana checks.
Pharaoh, can you read this crap?
And if someone wants to make an Arcana check for Esmeralda, she might have a better chance at reading one of these.
I can do it. I can't do it.
Can't read.
They seem to be runes.
Damn, Theo!
What, did I roll well?
Theo might recognize these runes.
Theo can read?
Did Grandma Stormbringer teach us how to put runes
I
on
was
the
basically
swords?
gonna say, like, Grandma Stormbringer.
No, this is the one thing that you know magic-wise, Theo. Circles of protection.
Do you know that?
Super about superstition, right? You have circle protection against evil. This appears to be
Totally from Grandma.
some form of circle of protection. And you see that as you've materialized,
And it's on the top of this cliff? Sorry.
you're on top of a building that's on top of a cliff. At the edge of a cliff.
Got it.
And the top of this building is this massive courtyard. It seems not scaled for humans. It is huge.
Okay. Does it seem scaled for giants?
Perhaps?
So,
Go ahead.
how big is this rune circle?
This rune circle is maybe 100 feet in diameter. It's large.
Oh, okay, it's huge. I see, sorry.
Alright, well, I tell everybody that. I'm like, this is a circle of protection.
Circle of protection? Protection
Yeah.
from what? Don't touch it. It could hurt you.
What do
As
you
of
mean?
what, you're not sure, Theo, but it's some form of circle of protection.
Grandma did this all the time. Remember?
Esmeralda says, is this Red Lark?
No?
Not any
I don't
part we
recall
went
that
to.
ocean.
Or those giant waterfalls, or this tall building, or the fact that this building is
We
not
haven't
scaled.
been here in a while, though, so...
On the
Eldris is there last
far side of the courtyard, you guys see there's a large, it's not like a throne, it's sort of like couch shaped, and there's these enormous cushions on it, but it's again way too huge for a human. But wrapped around behind it, there's this staircase leading downward behind it, and you see several robed figures coming up that staircase now, and quickly moving towards the edge of your circle. There may be another couple 100 feet
Are
past
they
the edge of the
large
circle.
or human sized?
They are human-sized.
Okay.
Hail!
I don't
Where
know
are
if we
we?
should hail
What
them.
ho, friend? What
Uh,
news from the Riddermark?
There are a half dozen of them, and several
What
of them.
are their robes like? Sorry, this is important.
Their robes are these grand, long red robes with gold inlining.
Ooh, are there gold tassels?
There are probably some gold tassels. Yeah.
The tassel game is strong. I respect these people immediately.
And all of their robes carry the same symbol over their chest here.
Have we seen it before?
Dude, they're Time Lords.
You have not seen this symbol before.
Cool, great.
It's not.
It's not that one, no.
Is it?
It is an arcane symbol you do not recognize.
Got it. Amazing. Wonderful. Yeah, we hail them.
And they form a circle around, and then from the back of the group, you can now see there is one of these people who is in blue robes. Same gold trim, same arcane symbol, but blue robes.
Tassels.
And he is a bald, clearly an elf, long pointy ears, high elf. And he approaches the edge of your circle. And he says, "Welcome to Azamar. Please forgive us the current mode of entry. We have had some intrusions of late, and so questions need to be asked before we can allow your planar travel to continue."
Our planar. Who?
What's Azamar?
Yeah, and what's planar travel?
What the hell is Asmar?
So you did not travel here intentionally, then?
Nope, we are trying to get back. We were actually, well, it's a long story, but we were in the middle of defeating this super bad dude.
We were going from Barovia to what's it called, Faerun?
Faerun, yeah.
Yeah.
To Red Lark. They're the Eldris brothers.
Barovia, Faerun, and you
We
see
strike our pose. We strike our pose.
he reaches into a bag behind him and he pulls out this large tome and he flips through it and he says, "Ah, Faerun."
Girl, it's the yellow pages of the magic.
And he says, "Ah, yes,
Can you
I
take
am
me to Red Light?
familiar with Faerun, but Barovia." He flips a few more pages.
Yeah, there's a real bad dude there.
Yeah, it sucks there.
His name starts with an S.
Sovereign hasn't heard of it either. Don't worry if you haven't. It's kind of
Sovereign.
like planar police. Vizarin?
Do you guys know Vizarin Devere?
You see the guy in the blue cloak, his eyes flash with anger.
Yeah, I hate that guy too.
He's a
So-
real prick.
He's super screwing up
And he searches.
Barovia.
And he says, "Hold! How do you know Vizarin Devere?"
Well, he was trying to destroy the world, and we stopped him.
in
and
Red Lark, which if you look it up in your booklet thing, might say that.
I see no reference of a red lark.
We also
It's in
felt
Faerun.
some portals. Bunch of stretched out planar things at
In
some
the
point.
Desserin Valley.
My tome does not contain the minor geographical features of your plane.
Our plane was invaded by 4 of your planes. So
True.
excuse
Yeah.
us for being
Vizarin was
worried about
trying
minor
to-
geographical features.
Our planes? What do you mean our planes? This is our plane. Azamar.
Oh, where's the fire and water ones? And also air and earth.
Those are elsewhere.
Sorry, Theoden.
Well,
go on.
those ones tried to invade Faerun, and Vizarin was doing that, and we were like, no. Planes stay in their own sections, and we tried to stop that.
If you've attracted the ire of Vizarin Devere, I'm afraid I cannot let you in free entry into the realm of Azamar.
We did not attract his ire. He attracted our ire. I'll have you know.
You believe yourselves to be more powerful than Vizarin Devere.
I never made any such claim. But I know what a circle of protection is, and I know you can't touch this.
He says, "I think you believe the circle of protection to be the inverse of what
Perhaps
it truly
I
is.
do.
This
Which
circle
means we're
protects
very afraid of us.
all of Azamar from you and other
Exactly. So we must be
planar
very
intrusions."
powerful.
What's wrong with us?
He says,
I'm very sick. I'm sorry.
we've had various planar intrusions recently, and so we have been doing inspections. Do you
If
have
I
any
could-
magic items to declare?
Not to you.
Oh, good, they're going through customs.
We don't want to stay here. We don't need to be in this plane. We need to go back to that other plane and finish our business.
Can you send us back to Barovia?
Yeah.
If you wish to recast your planar travel spells, this circle will not prevent you from leaving Azamar.
We didn't
He's made a
cast a
plane to
spell.
travel carton mist.
It says, if you do not have the means for planar travel, I cannot help you.
Guys, do
So-
you think we just get back in the carriage and tell it to take us to Stroud's Castle? It'll work.
So you can't
That's a good question.
you can't do travel. You just mess with people who are traveling.
Yes, it's the TSA.
This sounds like the worst job. I'm sorry.
They're right. I mean, this is planar travel customs to enter Azamar. Like,
So,
Well, I don't want to enter anything. I want to exit. So can you take me to the exit?
he says,
yeah.
you came here. You had the means to come here. You have the means to leave, or we can lock you in a
We didn't try to
planar
come here.
trap.
Let's try the magic carriage real quick.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, then you guys can, I don't know, throw us in the brig or whatever. Now you do things in Asmar.
Is all of Asimar like this with large waterfalls and nosy people?
He
Do
says,
I wear robes?
Do you all have tassels?
Isik is one of the few portside cities in Azamar. Its beauty is unparalleled.
Well,
Besides,
someone
of
can't
course,
stay
for the
longer.
capital of Azai.
Well, it's too bad. We can't stay. Nice chatting with you. Great tassels. I get in the coach. I'm done with this guy.
We're getting in the coach. This is going to be super embarrassing.
I start to get in the coach, and then I look back at him and I said, "We had good information for you, you interplanar guard type people, but now since you've been so rude, not going to give it to you." Slam.
That's
Whatever
the
you
OG
do, don't-
Pharaoh. I high five you when you get back in the carriage.
Esmeralda says, now that you guys are back in the carriage, well, normally to get back, you ride on a path and you sort of summon the mist as you get lost in the woods. It's not exactly a science.
I'm gonna
I'm
whisper.
not really
Pharaoh.
seeing anywhere to
You
travel
just ride in
here.
a circle
Got
with
100
this
feet.
giant ring of protection.
I'm gonna whisper to Pharaoh and be like, Pharaoh, can you just talk to Mother Night and be like, hey, we can go back now,
Talk to who? Sorry.
Mother Night.
Talk
Might be able
Mother-
to talk to Savras here.
I can. Savras. Oh yeah, good point. I could probably try to talk to Mother Night to get us back.
Anybody you feel like talking to, really.
Pharaoh's got a new favorite.
I don't even know.
He found Savas by the roadside, so
Man. Custom.
Yeah, I'll sit down for a minute and I'll take out some some incense and begin burning some and cast commune over the next minute or so.
Okay.
Just trying to get in contact with whoever I can.
Gotcha. Who are you trying to get in contact with?
Mother Night, because we want to go back to.
Jake, Bee's
We don't do that.
crying.
Oh, is she trying to get in my room?
I don't know, but she's crying.
I'll pause real quick while I open the door for the cat. Ugh. Climb through here. Hey, kitty, kitty.
Is she by your door?
Yeah, she's by my door.
Oh.
You want to come in?
That's the wrong spell. It's this one.
Here, I'll leave this cracked for you. I'll leave the door cracked for her, and then she can come in if she likes.
All right. If she cries again, just tell her it's okay.
Can we cast banishment on ourselves?
Ooh, good question.
Return you to your home plane.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, your
Actually-
home plane is just the material plane, I think, as far as that's
Banish.
concerned. Yeah, as far as banish is concerned, which would just mean whatever material subplane you're already in.
Eridan doesn't know that.
No.
Darn.
So
Just remember the crocodile was
That's
there and then the
clever.
crocodile was gone.
Pharaoh, you reach Mother Night, and she says, "Are you ready to return?"
Well, we somehow ended up in some Amazon place. I don't know what it's
Yes, I
confusing.
do see that you have been intercepted in Azamar.
Azamar, that was it. Mm-hmm.
But Strahd never intended to return you to Red Lark.
That devious, traitorous son of a...
Cross it!
Probably
We
bat,
trusted
who
him.
knows?
This
Why
is
did
what
we trust
happens when you trust dark powers. And she has a knowing smile when she says that.
I was like, I shouldn't do that anymore. All right, how do we get back?
And she says, I will send you back, but know that the moment Strahd is aware of your presence in his domain, he is likely to go back on his word.
His word didn't mean anything in the first place.
You've gone
And
back on
besides-
yours.
And besides, if Arena's the one we care about, then we already care about the people of Barovia. So what we're doing is for the people of Barovia either way.
She says, all right, I will send you back.
Pretty sure.
And that mist sort of suddenly from out of nowhere begins to swirl around the carriage. And you hear shuffling and movement outside from those mages, but that sound quickly fades away until you hear the dark night of Barovia again.
Can I yell to them out of the carriage as we spin away? Mm-hmm. You're gonna wish you were nicer to us!
Yeah. Eldritch Brothers rule! Mages with tassels drool! I'm really tired, guys.
Tell snakes rule.
And you guys arrive back at the gates of Barovia. It's another hour back up to the castle.
Oh my balls, dude. This is ridiculous.
that trail we blaze?
Meanwhile, Irina!
Yeah.
How do I entertain a vampire lord for 2 hours?
So you see your friends leaving. Oh, and Salik is still with you guys too. We didn't interact with anything there. He was just sort of flabbergasted. He's really confused.
Don't
Also
blame
got
you.
Tiny Dirk.
Yeah, and Tiny Dirk.
I think
Oh.
Tiny Dirk can hear.
Pharaoh, can you try and bring him back while we're on our drive?
I could try to restore him. I don't know if that spell will work on this. This is some special kind of magic. Look, this isn't just a curse. Look at him. He's tiny.
Yeah, I
And
think we
not
should
big.
wait. To be there.
we can come back to that in a minute. So Irina, you watch your friends ride away in the black carriage
You're like, what D's?
at the front door, and then you wave as they leave.
Yep.
And Strahd says, Tatiana, excuse me, Irina. It is
Yes.
good to have you back.
Yes, it is lovely to be here.
And he says, do not worry, I will show you around the castle, and your memories will return. You will remember who you truly are, and your love for me.
So you say I am Tatiana, and I will remember what she did?
Of
I will
course.
remember this place.
Of course. The castle will return your memory to you, I am certain of it. Come this
Alright,
way, and
very
he
well.
puts his arm out again.
Okay, I'm gonna begrudgingly, no, I'm just gonna walk for it, it's fine.
He's bothered by it, but he wants
Let's get over it.
he wants your favor at this point, so he's gonna lead you in. Let me pull up my handy dandy map of the castle. See where he's gonna lead you.
Oh good, that map, that looks fun.
So he actually is gonna bring you back into that main hall, and he's going to mage hand a candelabra from the wall to float in front of you guys and light your path, as he leads you up the large staircase to the left as you enter. It leads up 30 feet to a small landing where the staircase splits, and between it there are two alcoves with knights. And he tells you he starts to tell you a story about who these knights were, that are portrayed in these armors that are up.
Does he sing when he tells the story?
What?
Is
Does
he singing?
No, he's not singing. This isn't a musical. This isn't.
I didn't know.
This
Maybe
isn't
it was a
Phantom of the
ballad.
Opera.
It was like the ballad of like Sir Galahad and Lancelot or something. I don't know.
No, these are brave warriors who fought when he conquered this land centuries ago. And he leads you up into this large spacious throne room.
Oh, good. Do I get a crown?
Have you been a good girl? Do you get a crown?
And he says, "For you, I will have a crown forged."
Oh. Didn't mean to say.
Don't go Madalena on us, okay?
Actually,
Actually.
I'm gonna go with the Femme Fortune.
Wow, crown, just like that?
So this is large a throne room. You think this is like where like audience would have been held, right? And there's a large throne on the far side of the room.
On a raised dais.
On a raised dais, absolutely. However, there's empty iron sconces along the walls, hundreds of dust-laden cobwebs draping the hall, hiding the ceiling from view. It definitely seems like this place has not been well used. Problem is, this castle is a bitch to navigate, so... Give me just a minute to figure a few things out.
Really, from what I recall, it's quite simply laid out. Very linear and straightforward.
Ah, here, I got it. We're good. I think.
You good? You good?
You good? You good?
We're good. I'm gonna add a door over there and we'll be fine. Alright.
He's taking me to the how to become a vampire chamber.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
To be fair, that'd be a really cool chamber.
It's kind of cool if it had like stations of the cross on the wall, but they were like stations of how to be a vampire. First, you must acquire a taste for very rare meat.
He leads you to a side door off the throne room, and he hurries you through a room. It's clearly an office of some kind, and you see there is a man sitting at the desk, actually chained to the desk, writing in these large books. He looks like he's doing some sort of accounting work.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
When Strahd enters, he puts his head down further in his work.
Cratchit?
I was gonna kind of linger and turn to Strahd and ask him who this is.
This is Leif Lipsiege, my accountant.
And is this simply a study?
My study is above. This is where we're headed. He handles the lower matters of the court and the kingdom.
Wow. Doesn't even do his own.
Okay.
Literally owns the plane, can't do his own accounting.
Like, it's kind of bad, dude.
It's the problem with hereditary monarchy.
Yeah. He basically, he keeps track of the treasures and riches gained from conquest. Not much of that anymore these days.
I wonder,
Says,
like,
"Please,
how long this Leaf dude
come
is
upstairs with me."
Okay.
And he leads you to the other side of the room, up a set of stairs, and to a landing where he pushes open a door, through a room with two alcoves with statues on either side of them again. The alcoves are dark, though. It's hard to see the actual statues within them. And then through that landing, it opens a door into what looks like another dining room. But this one, dust, well, as soon as you come in, dust assaults your lungs. There's a sweet yet pungent smell of decay filling the room, in the center of which stands a long oak table. A blanket of dust covers the tabletop and its fine china and silverware. In the center of the table, a large tiered cake leans heavily to one side. The once white frosting has turned green with age. Cobwebs hang like dusty lace down every side of the cake. A single doll figure of a well-dressed woman adorns the crest of the cake. Suspended above is a web-shrouded chandelier of forged iron, an arched window in the south wall draped with heavy curtains. Resting in a wooden stand by the window is a dusty lute, and standing quietly in the southwest corner is a tall harp shrouded in cobwebs. And he seems to be hurrying you through this room to an adjacent room.
I'm gonna pause and say to him, it seems like there was a celebration planned here once a long time ago.
Indeed, do you remember the cake?
No, I do not.
This was your cake for our wedding.
Ah.
But you were taken from me before we were wed, when you were Tatiana.
So Mrs. Haversham.
That pesky gravity always stealing my girlfriends.
So, Irina, like, you don't have to make a roll for this. You know that that's not entirely true. You guys have read the Tome of Strahd.
Right,
You remember the details.
Yeah.
For our viewers, Tatiana was marrying Strahd's brother, Sergei. Strahd killed Sergei, and Tatiana threw herself from the balcony, the same balcony that Emerald and Koros and Casimir just rappelled down.
Proof that Tatiana was part of our party. She died by falling.
Gravity is the true enemy.
Okay. I think I'm not gonna call him on that. That seems like a bad idea for my survival.
All right.
The mortality.
Yep.
And he leads you into a room that this is clearly a study. There are, I can just read the description. There's a blazing hearth with blazing hearth fire fills this room with rolling waves of red and amber light. The walls are lined with ancient books and tomes, their leather covers well oiled and preserved through careful use. All is in order here. The stone floor is concealed beneath a thick, luxurious rug. In the center of the room is a large, low table, waxed and polished to a mirrored finish. Even the poker in its stand next to the blazing fireplace is polished. Large, overstuffed divans and couches are arranged about the room. 2 chairs of burgundy-colored wood with padded leather seats and back cushions face the hearth. A huge painting hangs over the mantelpiece in a heavy gilded frame. The rolling firelight illuminates the carefully rendered portrait. It is an exact likeness of you.
Yep.
Good. This isn't creepy.
And he says, "You see now, this is a painting of Tatiana. You are Tatiana." And he's getting creepy close to you now.
Ooh, no. I'm gonna take a step back and
Brandon,
ask.
stop!
Massage.
And ask him, is there any other parts of the castle that you believe would jog my memory?
And he steps back thinking for a moment.
Keep
Can
this
I
door
ask a
going.
question? Sorry. Irina, do you have, like, detect magic shit?
You know, it's a first level spell, right?
Yeah, like, Lily's wondering. Like, I don't really know how paladins work.
I think it's one of the paladin spells, but I don't
It's like
know.
detect good and evil.
Oh no, detect magic paladin might not have. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's detect good and evil, detect no.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm
special
wondering,
detect
like,
ability.
is
Detect evil everywhere.
Like, is the painting magic? And whoever's looking at it, they just see themselves in the painting.
No, I think he probably has a painting of Tatiana.
Yeah.
No, but like, still.
But that
I bet
would
if I
be
go back
handy
to
for
that
a
cave
vampire,
room.
because that'd be the only way he could see himself, huh?
All right, quit metagaming. Lily.
Sideho 12. Like, maybe when Sideho 12 looked at the painting, he saw himself.
And he says, "There is one place, but it is where you were taken from me, and I do not wish to return there."
Well, I must say I do wish to remember my past life if I am to live here with you. I believe it would make this transition much simpler for me.
And he says, "There is another, much quicker way."
Honey, shut it down.
Shut it
Oh.
down.
No means no.
I'm gonna say, please, I do. Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna need a save from you, actually, as
Oh,
he
good.
gazes into
Yeah,
your
that's fine.
eyes.
One of those again.
Yep. It is
What type of
a
save?
wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I'm not good at those.
She gives you patty eyelashes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's DC 19.
yeah. 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 Bye, guys.
And
Alex, use your inspiration.
I can't.
I'm gonna be a
Oh
vampire.
yeah, you
next
said
time
you'd use it when I was dying. So when you were dying.
And when he says that, that suddenly sounds like a really good idea.
Of course it does.
And he reaches for your neck
Well,
and chomps down.
that's good.
No!
Yeah.
And we'll come back to Arena in a little bit.
Oh my God, please,
Congrats, you're a vampire.
The camera like circles from
don't
above
do
and
this
it's
in
like
a hole. I'm so stressed out.
I hope you've had a high garlic content diet lately. It just goes, eh.
Girl, she's Italian. It's always a high garlic content diet, okay?
We'll do a quick meanwhile to
Cool.
Emerald and Koros.
Oh, look, I can hit the mute button.
While you guys do that, I'm just gonna research vampires real quick.
If you want to look something up in the monster manual just for fun, I recommend reading the page on vampire spawn.
Oh, good.
You're a terrible person.
So you
But
can now
actual
do
permission
extra
to look at
holy
that
giving
page,
to
or no?
yourself.
What was that, Brandon?
Yeah.
Is that actual permission to look at that page or no?
Not for you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, doing it.
I think it's in roll 20, actually.
Oh, is it?
I mean, if you have access to the actual monster manual, all the lore around it is great too, which is not in roll 20. Roll 20 is just
I
the
don't
stats.
have it right now. I
I
can
looked
look
at
that
the
up.
picture, that's enough. I don't need to look at the rest.
Good.
Actually, I think I have the stats right here. I have a photocopied page because it's for my reference. The vampire spawn.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
at least
just
I look horrifying.
Are you gonna just like automatically rip your clothes?
Yeah.
That happened over time.
No, I think I do it. Like,
instant.
he bites me and I'm like, okay.
You applied the black lipstick and ripped your clothes.
Must add edge.
It's while you're in the phase period, while you're a vampire, but you're still a human, you try to bite yourself a lot and you rip your own shit up a lot.
All right. So Emerald and Koros, you guys, after defeating that white, have sort of determined that something about the passage between these crypts approaching this tomb at the end of the wall seems to... You do a bit of detect magic or something, right? Like, after having been through it, there seems to be some sort of magical teleportation trap that swaps you with a white in the vault that Emerald climbed out of. Or flew out of, rather.
Was there anything interesting when you came out of?
Bones. Lots of bones. And 14 more coffins, so I'm assuming there's more of them.
Yeah, I don't want to do this 13 more times, to be honest. I don't feel I need to go in there that badly. Let's go back.
Yeah, by this time,
It's been about
Casimir's ready.
wow.
yeah, it's been enough time. You guys can circle back to Patrina's tomb, and you see that Casimir has given her his cloak, so that she's not naked anymore. And actually, you know what? She probably went. She went to the vault next door, and stole some things from the vault labeled "wife." And she actually has now found this gorgeous, rich, regal gown.
Great.
Smells like Simon and River from Firefly.
A little bit.
The gown also seems
Well-
very practical as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at her, think back to the vault. Well, if you're gonna dress the part, should we play Hubby Dearest a visit?
She says, "Indeed, let us find Strahd."
Better work, Casimir. You owe us.
He does owe us.
I need to flip around over here. and she looks at the rest of you and says, "Do you have the means to fly?"
Has it been 10 minutes since I cast the spell?
Probably.
Yes.
It will-
The answer was depending on the situation was yes or float upwards. So it's
And isn't that one you can cast at higher spell slots to make everyone fly?
That was my question. Yeah, can I move off
it
you
is.
again?
yeah.
Cool. I have methods, but again,
You
two
operate
plus one
at
spell slots. So
you have 2 level 5s?
yeah, it is 2 level 5s.
Yeah, cool.
And she and Casimir each cast fly on themselves. And they lead you to the end of this hall between the left and right side, where you see a staircase. But instead of the staircase, she actually flies up into sort of the hollow center of this spire, sort of in the middle of the staircase, and up and up and up. Very, very high, in fact. Several hundreds of feet to the top of this spire.
Please don't get distracted, Emerald.
It's fine.
Don't lose your concentration.
They
There we
wish you had
go.
a ring of featherfall.
To K59. Give me just one moment. So
Why
this
you gotta go
this
with me?
hole, the shaft leading up the spire, ends in a 5-foot wide stone circle walkway that circles the shaft and then heads down in a spiral staircase leading down it. This is clearly the tower's highest floor, and as you look around, you can feel this cold air rushing up out of the shaft as you get to the top and position yourselves around it. There are arrow slits lining the walls and aging beams supporting a steep cone-shaped roof. One beam and part of the roof have fallen away, leaving a gaping hole to the stormy sky. And as you look out those arrow slits, you are in the highest room in the tallest tower of Castle Ravenloft.
Oh snap!
This is where you keep the princess, right?
Mm-hmm.
True enough.
And you guys have your passive. You guys both have passive perception 16.
That sounds right. Yeah.
You both notice, and you notice it because of your, rather than coming up the stairs where you'd be sort of looking level, you're coming up the shaft and looking straight up. You notice a figure. There's something lurking among the rafters. It looks like a small, spindly man, not much larger than a child. There's a flash of lightning outside that illuminates his face, which is painted like a grinning jack-o'-lantern. I have a picture. Give me just a second to
That's
find it.
spooky.
It's super creepy. Oh, wait, I don't have a picture right here. I gotta look it up. Here it is. Lily, you don't want to look at this picture. You'll have nightmares.
Okay.
Oh, creepy.
Hi, Fred.
Oh my god, Jesus, I'm gonna have nightmares.
Take it away! Everyone's
Gosh,
terrible.
Well, to describe it to you, it was sort of like a jester doll marionette looking thing with evil eyes.
That's like a
It
fucking
definitely belongs in the Black Lodge.
That is good enough description for me. Thanks, Alex. Oh man.
Jesus, that thing. Anybody that makes that thing in real life, you better burn it afterwards.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Standard procedure.
And it's just lurking in the rafters up there.
It's not troubling us.
And we've stopped. Like we can now see it, and we're just kind of hovering near it.
Yeah, you guys. She's paused on the landing here to look out over Ravenloft and over Barovia, and she says, "The land has changed much since I was last alive. The castle is in disrepair."
Yeah, don't get the sense it's a high priority for Strahd.
What of the people and the land?
Weird. Not good. Some of them seem to be missing souls. Are we just not going to talk about this guy? Like, he freaks me out.
What? And she didn't notice the dude. She looks up, and she reaches up like she's gonna cast a spell, but then the thing drops down and like puts its hands up, and like all the bells in its hat jingle, and it puts its hands up, and then it like does a little cartwheel, and then.
Oh my god, look at this Chalupa. What the heck? This is so Black Lodge, Jake.
What are you?
It does a little like ditty and a tap, like in.
Oh my god.
And
It's literally the guy from the Black Lodge at the end of the first episode.
I know, I'm thinking that too. Yeah,
The man from the other world.
It turns around, and you can sort of see some of the clockwork mechanism inside of it from the back. There's gears and springs and other components. You can see that there's sort of the skin is this stitched leather pulled taut over a wooden frame, and on the back you can see there's a piece of the leather that's burned in, and it says Piddlewick 2.
It's no fun.
Roman numeral 2. It does not say anything about Blinsky.
Does the bottom of his foot say Andy?
I was just gonna say, like, that's what this feels like. You're saying, like, burned
Or
in,
Sid.
like, property of
Is it just
Strahd.
dancing? Like, is it not? Doesn't seem hostile.
It doesn't seem hostile. It seems like it's trying to be cheery, but its appearance makes it
It's one of Sid's
more
toys.
creepy than cheery.
Huh.
The doll head on the spider legs.
Well, you asked how Ravenloft was doing. Mostly like that, actually.
And she sighs and says, "We should be on our way. The hole in the roof gives us an opportunity."
Lead on.
And she flies out. And from there, she flies. Where's she gonna go? I gotta look around and do things again. Down onto this second tallest tower area. There's a lower tower that sort of is wider than the tower you guys were in, and it meets about halfway up that tower. And she drifts down there, and you can see there's a set of stairs leading down from the top of this tower. And she says, Strahd's bedroom is this way. It is the evening. He is possibly resting there. We did not see him in the crypt.
I saw him having dinner with some compatriots.
You have since seen him not having dinner. You saw him out front, waving as Pharaoh and company left in the carriage, yeah.
Okay.
So you know that dinner's over. You also know that your friends have dipped out of here.
Yeah, except Irina.
Right.
He may be entertaining a guest. Someone he thinks of as Tatiana.
You see a flash of, for a split second, a flash of anger in her eyes when you say the name Tatiana. But then she collects her composure and says, "It is no matter, we will dispose of his guest as well as him."
Lead on.
This guy.
She heads down the stairs. I need this book. I got too many books and too many papers around. Yeah, for time. Good. Okay. 2, 47. This is the problem with the castle. And so the stairs lead down, and you come to a dark landing 10 feet wide and 20 feet long. A cold draft of wind rushes down the spiral staircase that you just came down, and then whistles mournfully through the room before streaming down the stairs to the south. There's an ornate square rug covering the floor to the south, and set into the west wall is an iron-bound wooden door with a wooden trapdoor set into the floor in front of it. Hanging on the north wall, above the trapdoor, is a framed portrait of a handsome, well-dressed man with a serene yet penetrating gaze.
Oh shit.
Yeah?
Emerald, go touch it.
Ben?
I don't want to touch it.
Probably don't actually.
You don't have to touch
I
it.
already, it's like I already touched the last one. Your turn.
I'm not touching shit.
Well, I wouldn't either, but still.
So you guys gonna just continue heading down the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. As you do, it seems like the eyes in the portrait follow you, Scooby-Doo style.
Oh my god.
You mean Audrey Horne style?
Check behind it. I've seen
Sweet.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
Yeah.
She cut out holes in the painting's eyes.
gotcha.
Stood behind the wall. It was super weird.
And you head further down these stairs until I lose track of where everything is. Give me a second. This map. Alex, I knew this map much better when we were building the entire castle in Minecraft.
I feel like I can still remember everything in
Ha! Found it.
years.
Speaking of which, didn't she used to be married to Johnny Depp?
Who?
Audrey
Alex?
Fern.
Oh yeah, I think they did. I think they were.
Anyway. The stairs lead out onto a landing where there are two alcoves on the left and right side with dark figures inside of them.
They're dark figures. Like, are they moving? Are they statues?
Statues, it appears, but they're not well lit. And she leads you just straight through that room and into what appears to be a dining room, covered in dust with a lute on one side, and a rotting cake in the middle. From here, she heads straight across the room, and through another door, which appears to be a extravagant bathroom. Koros, you recognize it as the bathroom that Pharaoh was in earlier.
Nice.
And from there, she goes over to a set of double doors, and she looks back to you guys, and she says, "Prepare yourselves. Strahd is likely in here."
Oh shit, girl!
It's time.
And she bursts the doors open to reveal Strahd standing with Irina at his side, with arms linked.
No!
I don't like this.
And you see Patrina says, "Tatiana," and she, like, hisses.
Can I hiss back?
Yeah! And that's where I'm gonna leave you guys.
I don't like this.
Dude.
I do.
Stress.
Nicole, we will talk before next time.
Cool.
There will be no session next Thursday because Lily and I are in San Diego. And I won't have the proper streaming set up down there. But we will continue the week after at our usual time, Thursday at 7:15 is when we will return. So thank you all for watching. We will see you again in 2 weeks. Don't miss it. It's going to be exciting. Please do comment on the video, message the page, give us a wall post. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you're looking forward to. My players, please do message me tonight or early tomorrow morning with your rose, thorn, bud. That's the thing you liked, the thing you didn't like, the thing you're looking forward to. And with that, we'll see all of you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye now.